Hey guys, so today I'm going to be going through my top 11 books of 2011. So these aren't in any particular order, but I'll do my absolutely favourites of all time right at the end. First is Noughts and Crosses by Malorie Blackman. In this society, black and white people are kind of flipped roles. The black people are sort of superior, higher class, and the white people are working class. And sort of inferior. So there are two narrators, Sephy and Callum. Sephy is a pretty well-off family and Callum is the son of one of the servants for the family. Or was one of the servants for the family when they were younger. They used to be really good friends, and then things happen, she gets sent away, she goes off to boarding school. It's a really intense story. The ending left me in tears. It is... oh my god, I was kind of in shock. I read over the last couple of pages over and over and over again. I get so emotional thinking about it. I was bawling my eyes out like in hysterics. Next we have Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. So the narrator, Juliet, she has this ability, I guess you could call it. Her touch is lethal, so anyone she touches she basically kills. And apart from that, I'm not sure what else I can really say about the book without giving it away, because you're at the start you don't really know what's happening and you learn about the truth about like everything later on, really. She starts out locked up in this cell and she hasn't spoken to anyone in I think it was 264 days. Yeah, she's been locked up for 264 days. And then all of a sudden this guy called Adam is brought into the cell with her. And she's kind of freaking out because, you know, if she touches him, she'll probably kill him. So yeah, very, very intriguing. I can't wait to read more about this world. Also have Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. This was so cute. I loved it. So Anna, she's shipped off to Paris to go to this international school for her senior year. She's not too happy about this, but she meets this guy called Sinclair, and he's English, he's charming, cute, a little bit cocky, but he also has a girlfriend, which makes things a bit tricky. But yeah, it's really cute, such a sweet romance. I love it. I also have Across the Universe by Beth Rubis. I did a review of this one and you'll see me rave about it, how much I liked it. And also the cover. So there are two narrators in this one as well. There's Amy and Eldar, and they're on this ship called Godspeed. The story starts out, Amy, she was cryogenically frozen before the ship left, and basically she'll be unfrozen when they reach this new planet called Centauri Earth. But she's woken up 50 years too early. But Eldar, he's one of the people living on the ship, keeping it running as these people are frozen and on their journey to this new planet. It's confusing to explain, I know. Next is Room by Emma Donoghue. It's from the perspective of a 5-year-old boy named Jack, and he and his ma live in this room. That's all he knows. He doesn't know about the outside world or anything. His whole life has just been in this one room. It was really interesting reading from the perspective of someone so young, because it didn't come across as a child's book. It didn't seem really immature. There were still really dark and deep issues brought up in this. It can get pretty depressing at some points. It's also really cute because he's 5 years old. One instance, he has little cute names for things. I choose Meltedy Spoon with the white all blobby on his handle when he leaned on the pan of boiling pasta by accident. Ma doesn't like Meltedy Spoon, but he's my favourite because he's not the same. So he just says cute little things like that, and he's pretty adorable. The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. This one was so creepy and mysterious, but it was so good. I'm gonna try to explain this without giving it away too much. Basically, Mara Dyer wakes up in a hospital bed with no memory or recollection of the accident that killed her best friends, but and left her wounded. And in hospital basically. So she doesn't know what happened. She thinks it'd be best to move and leave that negativity behind, and kind of start anew So she meets this guy and she eventually kind of starts remembering what happens, and it gets kind of creepy, kind of gruesome at some points, but it's really good. So these next ones are all part of a series, and that is the Hunger Games trilogy. So that's The Hunger Games, Catching Fire and Mockingjay. I'll explain a bit of The Hunger Games, not the other ones, so I don't give anything away. If you haven't read this, you need to read it. Northern America is divided up into 12 districts, and Katniss Everdeen lives in District 12, which is the poorest of them all. And each year there is this thing called the Hunger Games, which is held. And one boy and one girl from each district is randomly selected between the ages of 12 and 18, and they become tributes. So for the Hunger Games. So all 24 tributes are placed in this arena and are forced to kill or be killed. So basically they have to try and be the last person standing alive. And this is all televised nationally, so everyone watches it. But yeah, it's so good. And the movie's coming out in a couple of months, which is really exciting. I'm going to reread this before it comes out. Yay! Next is Divergent by Veronica Roth. So Tris lives in a dystopian Chicago where society is divided up into 5 factions. There's Candor the Honest, Abnegation the Selfless, Dauntless the Brave, Amity the Peaceful, and Erudite the Intelligent. At the age of 16, you go through the choosing ceremony where essentially you choose which faction you want to be in. Generally people kind of stay with their families and friends in the faction that they were born into, but you can also change factions, and sometimes this can be a kind of a big deal and all that. It's so good, action-packed, like seriously incredible. I have a review of this one up on my blog if you want to check it out. I can do a video review of this as well if you... I have... And I cannot wait for the second book, Insurgent, to come out. And finally, this is probably one of my favourite books of all time, The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. This is set in Nazi Germany during World War II, and it follows this girl called Liesel, but it's narrated by Death, which is really interesting. It's such a unique voice, and it gets pretty dark as well, and I was left in tears. So amazing. But I'll just read you the first few lines to show you kind of how it's narrated. So chapter 1, Death and Chocolate. First the colours, then the humans. That's usually how I see things, or at least how I try. Here's a small fact: you are going to die. So yeah, it's so good, absolutely amazing. I highly recommend this. I want to reread it. So yeah, those are my favourite books which I read in 2011. Let me know if you've read any of those and what you think of them, or let me know what your favourite books were, if you have any recommendations, because I'd love to hear what you guys love to read. Okay, yeah, so I'll see you guys later. Bye! It's so hard to describe this book.